In late 2000, Amtrak inaugurated the Acela Express, America's first high-speed train, even if the Europeans watching this with big dick syndrome are about to claim otherwise. The original train sets for the service served well, but with major catches. They were heavy, they had limited spare parts, and they were not designed to last long. Heck, even the trains Amtrak tested on the NEC for the Metroliner aren't going to be retired anytime soon. But in 2016, Amtrak purchased trains that have been designed to be better and last far longer than the original trains. Despite production and entry into service hell, they have entered service. And despite some teething issues, both during testing and while in service, and complaints about the seats among some other things, for the most part the new Acela Liberties have begun to prove themselves as good train sets for Amtrak, so much so that they've officially begun retiring the original Acela trains, and replacing them with Acela Liberties on train after train, including on the frequency of the train I took in March 2026. By the time I made this video in May 2026, Train 2166, the one that originally used the original Acela set when I made the trip, has started using the newer Acela set. And speaking of which, I had wanted to ride the original set for years, but with the new trains coming in, I decided I wanted to take a ride on the original Acela trains before they're ultimately retired either this year or sometime next year, and that is what we did. So far, we already rode on the MARC train and took the Acela from Washington to the halfway point at New York City. Let's continue from New York to Boston, and in addition, right on the MBTA, when we finish our journey on the original Acela trains at Boston South Station. I hope one day I will be able to ride the newer Acela Liberty sets for myself and draw my own conclusions about how they are from there. For now though, let's ride on the old trains before they're retired and I have any last regrets.
Yeah, sweet bro.
We're at New York Penn Station, the halfway point for train 2166 that travels from Washington, D.C. to Boston. Excuse me. How long is the train here for? 10 minutes. Huh? 10 minutes. Okay. Alright. Make this quick, Harry. I got off the train for a bit to stretch my legs and also try and see some other trains as well. I got to the front of our Acela train and took a photo of the lead power car 2007, as well as take a photo of this Metroliner cab car, which agonized me to all hell and back because the camera wasn't even taking a photo, so I was internally screaming. And trust me, you would have understood my pain if you were there and also were constrained in the time to get back on the train. I also took a photo of this ACS 64. Okay, alright, that's the Phase 7, that's a Phase 7 Metroliner. It's just introduced. And it's our Acela train. 2007 is this power car. Okay. I got back on the train, and now that I'm no longer in a panic, I decide to tour the train cars. Taking this chance to walk around since this might as well be the only time I even ride these old sets. And who knows if a power car, one of these cars or two, or even an entire set is preserved. I'd honestly be surprised if a whole train set is preserved, but whatever. If somehow this set is somehow a car, or even a power car, or even this entire set is preserved, I'd be surprised. Anyways, I stopped talking for a bit, and so over there is an NJ Transit train made up of Aero 3 cars. Oh, those are Aero 3s. I just said that. A train from the LIRR also arrives in the station as well.
Long Island Railroad. I know the Long Island Railroad. That's the railroad that Penn Station 19 knows most.
Okay, that's the person right there.
Oh, sorry. I went out for a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is last call for New York City Penn Station 190 train hall. This is Amtrak Acela Express number 2166.
Excuse me?
Amtrak Acela Express number 2166 en route to Boston. Please check your tickets, make sure you are on the correct train.
Perfect. We did it. Kids, you didn't have to blow.
Okay, this is the car we're in. We're gonna be in until Boston. Car 5. So yeah, we're shipping up to Boston. Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Cool. This is the cafe car. Showing this now because of a feeling that, because who knows if even this set would be saved. Hi. No, I'm just saying hello, I'm just recording. Excuse me? Excuse me?
Yeah, that's my,
Excuse me? This is car, excuse me? This is car 3. Excuse me? Excuse me?
Please make sure you are on the correct transit train 2166 heading to Boston. The next stop is New Haven, Connecticut. We make station stops New Haven, Connecticut, Providence, Rhode Island, Route 128, Boston Back Bay, and Boston South Station. We are going to Boston, folks, not going to Washington. Please check your tickets. Also, we'd like to ask you, please, folks, once you're done with those overhead luggage racks, please just take a moment to close them up. Bags, and there's sometimes jump out on,
the quiet
I don't want anyone getting hurt by their own bag. If you don't deal with luggage racks, please close them up. Thank you.
I think this is good for the next train.
And over there is the first class car. Obviously, I don't have a first class ticket, so I can't go in there, but it's nice to at least show the inside.
Yeah, that's what
And that's the Long Island Railroad. It's a name. It's a name.
Would you mind helping me with this?
Okay.
I only got one arm to work with. Thank you so much.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
I think I'm being seen.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
As I started heading back to the car that we were sitting in, the train started moving again. Next stop, New Haven.
Looks like we're departing. And since I'm on the train, I don't have to panic.
Once again, folks, just in case anyone didn't hear those last announcements, folks, if you could please be done. Close the overhead luggage racks. If you're not sure if they're open or not, just take a moment, look up above your heads. If they're open, you can please close them up. People tend to walk into them so that you can fall. Let's avoid any.
After departing Penn Station, we are now traveling into the East River tunnels. The East River tunnels has 4 tracks. When they were opened, both Pennsylvania Railroad trains as well as LIRR trains used these tunnels. Today it's Amtrak and LIRR, although Metro North is set to use these tunnels for Penn Station Access.
And that's a tour of the train done.
Happy you're on the train.
What?
I'm so happy you're on the train.
Thanks, Dad.
Pleases me to no end.
As an additional side note, when I was making this trip, the East River tunnels were being rehabilitated because of Hurricane Sandy. The rehabilitation project is set to be completed in 2027 as of the making of this video. We have now made it on to...
へへ、驚いた？ロングアイランドは幽霊さんみたいに毎日指揮官さんのそばにいるの。
The same place that USS Long Island gets her name from. Obviously it's Long Island. Amtrak maintains a yard here mostly for long-distance equipment as well as equipment for the Empire Service, and the LIRR also has a yard here as well.
Alright, tickets please, please the ball, tickets out.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, this is your cafe card. Attendant, book the cafe card is over to get the cafe card is over to get all major credit cards, I can pay and
So sweet. No, you're good.
I'm sorry, what was that over?
Here we are. Socialist Starfleet of New York City.
Oh my, sorry, Grant. Sorry. Oh, me too.
Just before it cuts off.
An entrance to a tunnel appears as well as some tracks. These are tracks for the Long Island Railroad's tunnels into Grand Central Madison, which opened in 2023 after years of construction. The terminus at Grand Central Madison is the Long Island Railroad's first direct connection to Metro North, allowing people from Metro North territory to connect with Long Island Railroad territory. But we're traveling on the Northeast Corridor and shipping up to Boston, so we won't be taking Long Island Railroad territory for much longer. We stopped near the entrance to the slope for one of the Grand Central Madison terminals for a bit, probably to wait for another LIRR train, and soon afterwards, we're off again.
Awesome!
Way over there is the One World Trade Center or the Freedom Tower, depending on which name you like. It was the replacement of the original North Tower, which was destroyed from the hijacked American 11 on September 11th, 2001. For years, a replacement for the South Tower, which was also destroyed by the hijacked United 175 on that same day, was in development hell because of a lack of suitors or businesses to justify the second tower. Finally, in 2026, American Express announced it would be the suitor to ultimately build the second World Trade Center tower, to replace the South Tower after many years. The new pair of twin towers likely won't be nearly as iconic as the original twin towers, but they'll likely stand for years as a symbol of how even after tragedy, we can still rebuild again. We just passed what I assume to be either another regional or the Vermonter.
New York City Subway.
Get out.
We are crossing over the Hell's Gate Bridge, which was built by the New Haven in the 1910s. For decades, the bridge was a 4-track bridge. However, after the decline of rail in America, it became a 3-track bridge, with 2 tracks for Amtrak on the Northeast Corridor and 1 for general freight service. However, with Penn Station Access, the plans are to have the bridge become a 4-track bridge again. So we'll see with that. In addition, when I made the trip, there was some maintenance or heavy construction going on, likely for Penn Station Access. There were some tracks being added in, and it looks like the construction has been going well. If anyone has any details about what was going on around the tracks at the time, please let me know. There are also pieces of construction equipment, likely for the additional stations that are set to be added on Penn Station Access.
Where we're now, north of New York City.
Yeah. We're gonna be going into Connecticut. Well, I hear there's wide open spaces in Connecticut. Connecticut? Yeah, so what you have to do is go down to Grand Central Station, then take the Metro North train. North? So, why don't we take the train? Just hypothetical. No, Lyme disease. Thank you, Melvin. Sorry, Dad.
We passed by the Pelham Bay Bridge. That bridge is also set to be replaced with a 4-track bridge in the future.
I may have to go get a couple of cheeseburgers. You stay here. I'll take care of the cheeseburgers.
All right. Hey, Dad, is your Wi-Fi coming back?
Yeah.
All right.
We at one point had to make another stop, probably for another train.
Sounds like a good deal.
But we're off again.
Yeah, it's a good deal. Yeah. No, but we're on the old one, so. No, he didn't want to ride the new one. He wanted to ride the old one before they took it out of commission.
I think I can take the new one any time next year.
Say that again, Eric.
I think I can take the new one anytime I want starting from next year.
First what?
I think it can hit like up to 186 to 220 theoretically.
186 to 220 theoretically, he says. Yeah.
We're passing by a junction that would allow for Metro North trains to go to Grand Central Terminal.
I'll send you some pictures.
Now that we passed the junction for Grand Central Terminal, we're going to be passing a lot more Metro North trains now. We're also passing by another older Acela as well.
It makes a lot of stops. I mean, yeah. Yeah, well, we can talk it through. You can talk through the experience. Yeah, maybe you can take Mom on that or something. She would love it. All right, let's talk.
That ain't you, is it, girl? If we're getting to know each other, my name is Rochelle. I work in television.
Talk again soon. We'll see you again soon.
In television.
We gotta organize that trip. Yeah, so like in a week or two, let's get down and get that flight. Okay.
Actuals were at, sorry, actuals were at. Sorry, we just have to write down January actuals versus so right, overall commercial benefit.
Passing through Harrison.
We passed by another station named Harrison that isn't on the Jersey side of this cesspool. In addition, those were Metro North mate cars. The M8s were built by Kawasaki in the early 2010s and replaced M2, M4, and M6 rail cars that Metro North owned and operated. In addition, the cars can run on both overhead cables as well as third rails. Shoreline East also operates a couple of M8 cars too. However, there are some proposals to end electric operations on Shoreline East. There hasn't been any updates on that as of right now, though. In addition to construction for Penn Station Access, there was also quite a lot of construction on the New Haven line for Metro North when I was making the trip. If anyone can also tell me what was going on then, please let me know. We're now no longer passing through agonizingly slow sections of the line, so we can pick up a little bit more speed now.
looks like we're in Connecticut.
Yeah, Medicare makes a jump.
Dad, now I missed the express. Now I gotta take the Stanford local.
With us confirming that we're in Connecticut, we're now in New England, aka the land of British imported names.
So yeah, I guess we're technically in New England now.
The coast we go.
We're passing through Stamford, Connecticut. A lot of New Haven Line trains of Metro North, as well as some Acela round trips, the Northeast Regional, and Vermonters stop here. Not our Acela train, though.
It's a lot of activity, but we're gonna have to redo it anyways. I'd rather pause. Figure out what we're doing. Research I know a little bit, and then go to a bunch of it. MBTs, a ton of time. Listen, a ton of time. On an initiative, which I think is a priority. I don't think that's Melissa's fault, or she was responsible for the style position. But like, and like now the ball is rolling. I think that's my thinking is that let's get the receiver code, figure out where we are and what the steps are, and then kind of like reassess everything.
We also passed by a Metro North New Haven Heritage unit while we're at it.
Oh, that's the Metro North. That was the New Haven Heritage unit.
Wants to give more stuff to the field and keep having business. Tim here, building reports, that's building reports, and then takes the overall each human, right?
It's so much easier if you don't get this to you.
So like, A, we're going to get the data better. That'll help with all this stuff.
Okay. Nope, I like it. So.
Access to it. Or the time when you show to it's just say, okay.
Norton Heights.
So you just did like this one, I want first through sixth, and not give me the first through fifth.
Yep.
Yo. Sprite.
It's something that I think will bring us
Bye.
like another phone right day, or maybe sorry.
We're now passing through South Norwalk. After South Norwalk, a line branches off from Mar Line to go elsewhere. That is Metro North's Danbury Branch, which goes to Danbury, Connecticut, as well as the Danbury Railway Museum.
What happened to that? Oh my god, one of the parts of that bridge looked like...
We're now passing over the Norwalk River Railroad Bridge, which is better known as the Walk Bridge. Currently, it's set to be replaced, and thankfully, it actually is being replaced, as construction of a new bridge began in 2023, which will replace the swing bridge with a vertical lift bridge. Probably make it safer too. Also, some of the tracks were severed in multiple places, which could mean that they're also replacing some of the bridges as well as some of the tracks here too.
March 17th. How is that possible? Well, the default bid submitted successfully. Oh, no. That's... Alright, that's what I'm saying.
We passed by some more bridges being replaced, as well as the East Norwalk station, which currently has a temporary platform. No, there is no station that just says Norwalk. I could be wrong, but I presume all these severed tracks and rebuilding bridges could also be in relation to the Walk River Bridge replacement as seen earlier. We passed another train that I presume to be another regional, albeit without a second Acela 64. I presume regional trains north of New York City don't exactly turn around more often, hence there isn't a burning need for a second Acela 64, although I could be wrong about this. If anyone can confirm or deny that, please let me know.
Still moving, huh?
Yep, still moving.
Capturing it all.
Soon, Dad got me a burger from the cafe car, so I decided to record myself eating it. So, here you go.
That's alright. Alright, well, it's time for a little bit of a mukbang video. Let's try this Amtrak cheeseburger.
It's really just like that.
lot of bread.
It's good?
Yeah.
It's a little sketch. Basic cheeseburger. Sorry. Cheeseburger. Nothing else.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
No trace of an onion or lettuce or tomato or pickle. I expect a little more from it. They've been around a long time. Although the price is pretty reasonable, but pay a little more for a little vegetable. Vegetable, I guess I could have got the turkey sandwich. That has this tomato on it.
I think I ripped your full cord out.
Oh no, you're good. We'll figure it out. I'll do it. I got you.
I thought the burger was alright. Definitely wasn't expecting any 5-star meals or anything.
Oh no. Oh yes, I got something.
Anyways, let's get back to traveling.
Train up there, coming. There's a train coming.
We passed by another Metro North train in push-pull configuration, this time with the BL20GH. After passing by what is possibly the longest known pedestrian walkway from a parking garage to a station, we are officially at Bridgeport. We pass over another bridge, which I presume to be a Basco bridge. Also over there is an abandoned bridge, which I do not know what it was originally used for. Though it probably could have been a road bridge, if not also a bridge that once carried streetcars, if not interurbans too. We're passing over the Housatonic River Bridge, which is also said to be replaced sometime in the future. The replacement would be of a 70-mile-per-hour span, up from the current 40 miles per hour, which I honestly kind of think doesn't really make much sense, especially since this is a section of the line that could probably easily handle like 110, 125, maybe even faster.
Here lies Scout. He ran fast and died a virgin. They will place you in the tomb of the unskilled soldier. I murdered your toys as well. Giddy up now to hell!
So I think it's just.
Oh, just gonna get you there.
Did you do something wrong? Or is there something...
The computer's just being weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, next station stop coming up in about 5 minutes will be New Haven. Once again, folks, New Haven will be next. Here at New Haven, all doors should be opening. If you be exiting here, please take this time now. Check around your seats, check the overhead luggage racks. Make sure you have everything before you exit, please. New Haven, all doors will open. Watch your step. Once again, couple of minutes, New Haven, Connecticut.
We've made it to New Haven, Connecticut, where the New Haven Railroad gets its name. Over there is a little bit of a maintenance shop for some of Amtrak's Hartford Line trains. There are a couple of coaches, as well as some P-42s and an ACS 64. We finished our stop at New Haven. Next stop, Providence.
Hey folks, just got out here in New Haven, have your tickets out, ready to be inspected. Folks, conductors coming through at this time. Next station stop, just about 1 hour, 20 minutes, will be Providence, Rhode Island.
From here, we'll move from Metro North Territory to CT Rail Territory. CT Rail also operates electric trains through the Northeast Corridor. However, there are proposals to abandon electrified service, so we'll have to see what happens then.
But again, exactly. And then the risk, running the risk of, not making it on.
Yeah, but driving.
That's true. So I looked it up. It's all related to the TSA. So
Over there, 2 tracks are breaking off from our line to head elsewhere. That's the Hartford Line. It goes all the way up to Springfield, Massachusetts. And some of the lines also go as far north as Montreal.
oh, I just skip it because I don't believe in the real
Alright, now those are the kinds of cables that remind me of Denver. It's RTD commuter rail. And some parts of the light rail too.
New Haven, we reach a stretch of line that makes up to 150 miles per hour. It was the fastest section of the Northeast Corridor, at least until the 160 mile per hour segment in New Jersey was completed. Maybe this is what that one expression meant by when pigs fly, because this pig, as the original Acelas are known, is really flying. This, in fact, is the Connecticut River Bridge. And in addition, there's construction for a newer bridge to replace this bridge we're currently going over, which is set to be higher, as well as carry trains at much faster speeds than we currently are right now. Construction started in 2024 and is expected to be completed in 2031.
Part of this mission. Check out clarity. Question. So, two kind of related things. I mean, it's like, I think about it the same thing that I think a little bit of that gives us on, which is we need a little bit more thinking, designing, prior to looking. Like you were saying today, like these systems we were looking to start all
The ocean.
We also passed by some oceanside homes while we're rushing through Connecticut.
I've seen that for 2.5 years. Which is the access to market.
On the beach on both coasts.
Any assumptions, any evidence that happens. No. Just refused to. Yes, within the sheets. So, but I think my point is okay, like, there's that target, right? Okay, well, owning the whole restaurant experience, and someone's gotta, like, someone needs to make it. You're thinking about what the details to be for used to is this person ordered a sample. This person somewhere in the restaurant. Congress, right? Congress, they went to Congress, they went by you know, that kind of stuff. And like the reason MPX doesn't get a view of it, that's what's
There was one place that was called Dad's Restaurant.
and it's super easy to imagine whether or not they're following up. I'm worried that this whole thing, that the clarity, simplicity, call to action isn't coming to my
Going through.
Going through what?
Last couple remaining railroad crossings on the Northeast Corridor.
And then it's what, a straight shot? Get max speed on the way.
Yeah, these railroad crossings are partially why we can't hit max speed on this section.
As we approach New London, I mentioned how there are still a couple of railroad crossings on the Northeast Corridor, despite the vast majority of the NEC being grade separated. A lot of these crossings do exist around New Haven, which Yeah, fair, it's right next to the street and it's almost impossible to grade separate, but I don't know what the excuse is for all the other crossings in the rural areas of Connecticut. And I'm pretty sure I also don't know an explanation either.
Another crossing, though. We're in, I think, Stamford, Connecticut? Oh, New London. We're in New London. I wonder if this place is better like than Old London.
Actually, I'm wondering if there's less of a chance of you getting stabbed in New London than the regular London. Though at least in New London, you don't need a license for everything. Speaking of New London, the New London station is a stop for Amtrak's Northeast Regional, as well as the end of the line for CT Rail Shoreline East trains. Shoreline East trains are proposed to go past New London and to reach MBTA territory, but there will need to be a bridge replacement at New London, and currently that's either in the works or just pie in the sky right now. Acela trains, though, don't stop at New London, so we're skipping the station. Over there is a harbor. And up there is a really tall bridge carrying I-95.
Oh, there's an Amtrak trailer. 2 Amtrak trailers. Mystic, Connecticut.
We're passing by Mystic, Connecticut, an Amtrak stop for the Northeast Regional because, well, there's no CT rail here, let alone MBTA. No. Honestly, now that you mention it, there are quite a few scenic portions of the NEC that could possibly warrant observation cars on trains like the Acela or the Regional. Nice how almost pretty much all the remaining crossings still have steel belts. I think 7:45. This is Westerly, Rhode Island. We're not stopping here.
top speed again.
As we fly high, free bird, yeah, we pass by Wickford Junction, the very end of MBTA territory. That is part of the MBTA's Providence-Stoughton line, which goes all the way to Providence and beyond that, with its terminus at Boston South Station. We've essentially entered MBTA territory from here.
As long as nothing supernatural occurs, this should be easy. guess we're coming into Providence. That's where I believe Providence is the real life setting of Quahog. South Park's better though. You know, since South Park has made fun of Family Guy quite a couple of times.
Yeah, like it's an apartment building with like shipping containers.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Again, folks, this is Providence. Providence Renowned. All doors on the left-hand side open. And watch your step and break again. Once again, folks, this is
We've made to Providence, the capital of Rhode Island. And yes, this is basically the real-life Quahog, Rhode Island from Family Guy. Though I'm not much of a fan of Family Guy, I'm on South Park and King of the Hill through and through. Sue me. We're now departing Providence, and it's only Route 128 and Boston Back Bay before we reach Boston South Station.
Folks, we got 3 stops remaining tonight, 3 to go. Next station to stop, just about 15 minutes, Route 128. About 25 minutes for Boston's Back Bay Station, approximately 35 minutes for South Station. Once again, Route 128 next, folks, about 15 minutes. The University Park Station, Canton Westwood Dedham area, followed by Boston's Back Bay Station. That's the first of the 2 stops in Boston, Flame, Copley Square area of downtown Boston. Connections to the Orange Line, and if you want to walk to the Green Line, it's about 25 minutes. And South Station, the final stop of this train.
Oh, sorry.
It's about 30 to 35 minutes. Thank you.
They're leaving now?
Thankfully, Dad was still on the train the whole time.
I did. I took it out. Thanks. He loves it. Yeah. He loves it. He wants it forever. I imagine them demonstrating that kind of visibility to their house. Shit talking.
talking to me?
No, I wasn't talking. Did I say something?
I thought you did.
I think they're. Guess that's the nighttime. Guess that's one of the night trains.
gentlemen, now arriving Route 128, Route 128, now arriving. Please watch your step.
We've arrived at Route 128, the last station stop before any station in Boston. It is also near the junction of the godforsaken I-95 and I-93.
do that.
This will make it easier.
Okay.
Pelham Bay Station, stop in about 8 minutes. It'll be Boston's Back Bay Station. Make sure so you're on orange line, show walk to the green line. Boston's Back Bay Station, about 8 minutes.
As we head towards Back Bay, we go past a bit of a familiar station, Forest Hills. Forest Hills is also the end of the MBTA's Orange Line. It also used to be the end of the Washington Street Elevated, but it was torn down in 1987.
Yep, that's the Orange Line. Bye-bye!
What were you saying bye-bye to?
The Orange Line train that we passed by, that was heading in the same direction as us.
I gotta somehow find my car.
Flash.
As we approach Boston Back Bay Station, we pass the site of the 1990 Back Bay train crash. An engineer on Amtrak's Night Owl was making up lost time throughout the trip after an engine swap at New Haven. This was prior to the line from New Haven to Boston being electrified. But as he headed into Back Bay Station, he had not slowed the train down for the curve into Back Bay. And when the train hit the curve, it was going too fast, and it derailed, also crashing into an MBTA train in the process. By some miracle of both Jesus and God, not a single person died that day. There were a bunch of injuries, sure, especially on the packed MBTA train, but despite the carnage, by probably divine intervention, no deaths. If that's not a miracle, I sure as hell do not know what is.
Bay Dom now arriving Boston's Back Bay Station now arriving. Please watch your step.
We've made our stop at Back Bay Station. Next and last stop, Boston South Station.
Just a few moments, last station stop of this train, Boston South Station. Boston South Station, last stop of this train, in about 3 minutes. On behalf of your Boston crew, thanks for traveling Amtrak. Boston South Station coming up.
So the first thing we should do is check if they got any merch places.
Alright.
Probably not, but check anyway.
That's worth checking to see if there's one.
That's how you got your Chicago sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Because I thought of it then.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go da-da-ba-da-da? Back to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago. The Blues Brothers hasn't really been a movie you'd see often, I guess.
It's been a while.
Huh?
Well, it's just out of the
You mean out the blues? Yeah, that's not really funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, now arriving at South Station now arriving, please watch your step.
And with this, we've made it to our last stop, Boston South Station. After getting off the train, I then head to the back of the train just to get the photo of the rear power car. This is a trip I'll forever be grateful I took. This train and its 19 sisters brought a stepping stone in the development of high-speed rail in the USA. Yet within that stepping stone was a train that aged rapidly and was heavily flawed. But despite those flaws, it and the other 19 Acela train sets served the Northeast for 25 years in service on the Acela Express. And now new train sets plus 8 additional train sets are set to replace them on the Acela Express. Those new trains have also had issues in service, but no doubt that they'll also carry the torch for decades to come. And while they might not be on par with the original trains, these trains built by Bombardier will still be remembered as the trains that started the Acela Express. Many, including myself, are hoping one of these trains gets preserved, but I still am not sure if a museum will take on this long of a train set to put on display. But I am certain that people in railroad museums will still be vying for a train set, if not individual cars and power cars, to put on display, as these trains are retired and stored. If by choice or dumb luck, this train set, which has yet to be retired as of the making of this video, is preserved, then I could confidently say that the safe train was the train I rode, Train Set 15. But I'm not done at Boston quite yet. It's the next day and I'm back at Boston South Station, albeit at the Red Line station, and without my dad this time since I'm going solo. I'm intending to ride the Red Line, but not on this commie crap. I'm intending to ride a different type of car on the Red Line.
This is South Station. The destination of this train is Ashmont.
Red Line train that I want to get on arrives. These are the Red Line's old Pullman standard cars from the 1960s and 1970s. However, with newer trains coming in, they're set to be replaced, and so I want to ride on these before they're ultimately replaced, because I didn't get a chance to do so with the Orange Line cars.
This is nice.
We're above ground now, and we'll soon enough head down to Braintree Branch. Over there, the Ashmont branch breaks off from our line to go to Ashmont and connect to the Mattapan line. I then sat on the other side of the train, directly where the sun was shining into my eyes. We're at the end of the line at Braintree. Over there are some tanker cars for a yard that I presume is owned by CSX.
Nice. That was one of the 1500, 1600, and 1700 cars.
Now that I've made it to Braintree Station, let's turn around and head back to downtown Boston. Albeit, we're not going to be riding the Red Line, but we're going to be riding the commuter rail. Pushing our train will be an F40PH built by either EMD or Morrison Knudsen and rebuilt by Motive Power Inc. It's an F40PH 3C, meaning it has Dash 3 standards, I think.
Caution, the doors are about to close.
As I was looking for a seat, the train started moving. We catch up to and surpass a red line train that is in North Quincy Station.
Oh, good morning.
Damn thing, man.
Soon enough, we pass by the yard that Amtrak uses to store and maintain its trains. After getting hit by God's Light, here's the Boston section of the Lakeshore Limited. Here's another 3 CF40 owned by the T. I got back at Boston South Station and took a photo of the commuter trains. I'm back at the Red Line station again, this time with my dad, and this time we're going the other way.
The next train is now reporting. Next stop, Downtown Crossing. Entering Downtown Crossing.
Next stop.
Change here for the Orange Line. The doors will open on both sides of the train. For elevator service, please exit the left side of the train onto the center platform. Entering Park Street. The doors will open on both sides of the train. For elevator service, please exit the left side of the train onto the center platform. Change here for the Green Line.
We've made it to Park Street, and now we get off here so that we go to the Green Line. Here's the Green Line, and we're going to take you to Heinz Convention Center.
This is Park Street. The destination of this train is Cleveland Circle. Next stop, Boylston. This is Boylston. The destination of this train is Cleveland Circle.
Yeah, there's not gonna. I mean, they might approve the I-40, but that's already something. Be that nice. It's usually, usually like, you sent all these things, but they're insufficient. Right, yeah. And then you have to figure out which ones. Room cards for children, or I think their ballet instructor. Pardon, or see, I didn't think she should have been approved for the O1. So I'm sure she can't get an ABB. Through that period where they changed the form to online, and everybody filed in that. Yeah, getting off at Arlington? I don't know. No, we're getting off at Heinz Convention. Heinz Convention, all the way down to. Yeah. And then walking back a little bit. Okay. No, but I changed the rest. So he's Trump isn't right wing enough for him. Yeah. Has to go. Yeah. You like it? Unlike the slow train, I like my So how's Ollie? Or anything?
No, he's just limping along.
Yeah. Okay.
No, he actually has to walk more.
Yes. He's got to put weight on it.
Yep. Sleeping.
Yeah.
He's not going to have consistent therapy.
Finally, we made it to Haynes Convention Center with not much during the ride other than the tunnel's apparently a lot slower. There was also another light rail that was right behind us. After making a reprieve and visiting the college that my Uncle Eric went to, we then go back into the Green Line station. This is an MBTA Type 9 card that was built when the Green Line extension opened a few years back. However, with Type 10 cars eventually replacing the entire fleet, these cars are said to be displaced and then moved to the Madison line.
Change here for bus connections. Approaching Blandford Street. Doors will open on the right. Blandford Street. The destination of this train is Boston College. Babcock Street. Stand clear of the closing doors. This train will run express to Babcock Street. Next stop, Babcock Street.
Oh sure, transit planners. Let's have the light rail train act the same as pretty much all the other cars and buses on the road and have to stop at red lights. It's not like these trains could be packed or anything.
On our way to Boston College, we passed by the Boston University Chapel because, well, Boston is basically the world's biggest college town. You can't convince me otherwise.
Will open on the right.
Over there is a street that once carried the Green Line's A branch. The A branch once went to Watertown Yard, but it closed in 1969. However, some tracks that used to be at that intersection weren't paved over until 2020. There have been some advocacy to reopen the Green Line's A branch over the years, but as of today, nothing came from that advocacy. Though, one can hope that one day the A branch can reopen once again.
Next stop, Washington Street.
Over there is, or at least was, a line that connected to the C branch at Cleveland Circle and the D branch at Reservoir.
Next stop, South Street.
Anyway, I'm saying send him a text. Say he can give you a call. Whatever. I mean, he might maybe have some tips on the bed. Maybe you want to see it. I mean, the same reason out there. That. And then, let's see this. How did you put it?
We've made it to the end of the B branch at Boston College.
Boston College. This is the last stop. Thank you for riding.
Now that we've made our turnaround, we're going to head to Boston's Logan Airport, albeit with a bit of anxiety on my end.
16, 18 days. Yeah, so we did like the end of it, maybe like first week of October.
Approaching Boston College. Doors will open on the right. This is South Street. The destination of this train is Government Center.
He's got
Approaching Washington Street.
Look
Change
up.
here for fast connections. Doors will open on the right.
Unfortunately, I wasn't taking footage of much of the ride because my camera was running incredibly low on battery. It was running more on prayer than battery at that point.
Next stop, Blandford Street.
I took this pic while we were at Boylston Station.
Oh, the train didn't just stop, did it?
I reacted like that because I thought our flight was going to leave soon and my anxiety was running so high.
Sorry, I just feel like we're about to cut it pretty close.
Well, it is what it is at this point, right?
Right.
You have to stay calm.
While I tried to ease my own stress, our Blue Line train finally arrives. These are 700 series trains built by Siemens. They were built in the late 2000s and early 2010s to replace the Blue Line's Hawker Siddeley cars that have been in service since the 80s. However, by that time, they were plagued with corrosion issues. At this point, it certainly wouldn't be the first time Siemens stock replaced a type of fleet that had been plagued with corrosion.
I see the airport signal.
Despite the 700 series cars being replacements to the 600 series cars, the new cars actually look quite similar to the old cars, especially if you look at them side by side.
Advantage of a subway. Back then.
No delays for traffic.
Huh?
No delays for traffic.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
I don't live here, so no.
Besides, my mom already drags me to church on Sunday or Saturdays, depending on what's going on. At least when I'm at my parents' house anyways.
Well, I'll send you the Southwest confirmation just in case.
Alright.
We've made it to the airport station, and from here the Blue Line train will switch from third rail to overhead catenary.
This is the switch from...
Our Southwest flight from that day would depart at gate B33, right next to gate B32. However, gate B32 is the gate where American Airlines Flight 11 departed from, intending to go to Los Angeles, but instead it would be hijacked and flown straight into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Ever since that day, an American flag has waved over gates B32 as well as C19 nearby where Flight 175 took off. Even though gate B32 changed from American to Southwest and gate C19 changed from United to JetBlue, the two flags still stand over the two gates. We got on our Southwest flight, and unfortunately, the changes that were made to Southwest ever since Elliot took over were still noticeable, even though I had hardly flown Southwest over the years. I unfortunately had the misfortune of getting a middle seat, so there wasn't any takeoff or landing footage.
The doors are closing. Please keep clear and hold on for departure to all B gates.
We're back at Denver. Let's head to Terminal, Ground Transportation, and Baggage Claim.
Approaching the station for all B gates. Exit here for all B gates. Please watch your step.
The doors are closing. Please keep clear and hold on for departure to all A gates.
Hold on, please. We are approaching the station for all A gates. Exit here for all A gates. Please watch your step.
Welcome to Denver, home of Mile High basketball. This is Bruce Brun of your Denver Nuggets. Catch us on the court and have a great time in the Mile High City. Go Nuggets.
Go Nuggets.
This is the terminal. All passengers, please exit and follow signs to ground transportation and baggage claim. Please watch your step.
And with this, our trip is at an end, and we'd head for home. At least, for me personally, it'd be home for a few more days before I head back to Fort Collins for a few more months of college.
Oh my god.
This is a journey that will stick with me for years to come. I've been on the NEC once before, and for a while I've only seen the Acela Express, but never ridden on it. And this time, I've ridden on the real Acela Express. It might be quite a bit before I'm able to take a spring break trip like this, especially now that I've practically finished college. But I'm grateful that I was able to ride the train that started high-speed rail in America. While it sucks that the original sets are now being retired, hopefully I'll one day be able to ride the Acela sets on the Acela Express service and determine my own conclusions from there, though don't expect me to not make any Spy TF2 references if I eventually ride the Acela sets.
New York City Subway. There's one place that was called Dad's Restaurant.